All right. Hello, everyone. I am ZELLLOO. I am some guy that likes to play speedruns and do music games. And you're probably thinking, what is this giant doohickey right behind me? Well, this is a Pump It Up machine. This is an actual arcade music game that is developed by Andamiro in Korea. It's DDR, Dance Dance Revolution's competitor of the time. Been around almost 25 years. We're going to be celebrating 25 years of this game with the newest mix, Phoenix, which actually just came out last year. With me, I have my wonderful commentator and partner in crime. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Haru. I will be your voice for the whole showcase, since ZELLLOO's gonna be too busy playing the game.
Yep, so we'll jump right into it. So I'm going to be doing a couple firsts, and there are a couple caveats here. One, there is lightning and thunder outside. Do not be surprised if the stream magically cuts out because the storm is happening. Two, this is like probably the first time I'm actually going to show K-pop songs in my showcase, because usually we try and avoid those just because they tend to get dinged on Twitch streams and VODs and get muted. Well, I picked a few that are isolated and hopefully shouldn't get us dinged. And since this marathon's not going to be like for charity, we figure this is a good safe test. So hopefully the VOD will come out okay. But hey, you get to hear some great K-pop stuff that I normally don't get to play. But I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. Haru will take it away, and I'm just going to get started with the next 20 songs. So let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so ZELLLOO is starting his set. As you may see, this is a huge actual arcade machine. So, because it's an arcade game, you have to somewhat enter your credits. So you will notice that ZELLLOO starts a credit, plays several songs, then it says game over, and he starts a new credit. That's just the limitations of arcade game for you. ZELLLOO is starting with a song Butterfly, and it's a single 16. What does single mean? It means ZELLLOO only plays on one side. You may notice that the platform has 10 panels on it, and it's somewhat divided into two sides. You can play this game alone, you can play this game with a partner, you can play this game with several partners sometimes. But since ZELLLOO is alone, he will first show us some one-side plays, singles, and then he will switch to two-sides plays, which is very interesting. This is an original song, it's pretty old and it's very cute. The difficulty scale in this game goes from level 1 to level 26 on single play. ZELLLOO started at a difficulty level 16, which is somewhat midway. And if you think what he's doing is already scary, just wait until the end of showcase. But also, don't be afraid, because level 1 in this game is very easy and the learning curve is pretty friendly to newcomer players. So, if you feel interested in this game, don't hesitate to try if you see it in arcade or if some of your friends may have a setup in their place. Just don't be afraid, it's like with any game. So this chart is pretty twisty. You may notice that ZELLLOO's legs are moving very fast and he's moving around the platform, not just staying facing forward. Pump It Up is very notorious for its turns, unlike other dance games like Dance Dance Revolution. The layout of Pump It Up being an X as opposed to a vertical cross is much more friendly for turn patterning. It's a nice introductory chart into turns, I would say. Not as bad. ZELLLOO will increase difficulty of his play with every song. So we start with single 17, then we move to started with single 16, and then move into level 17 and so on. This is gonna be another very twisty song. A bit slower, I think. Oh no, not slower, this one is faster. So, the difficulty of the song may come from a variety of sources in Pump It Up. It may be the speed of arrows when you have to move fast, it may be some trickery in reading, it may be some twists. On doubles you may notice there may be very fast movement. This makes the game pretty unique. In the fact that it offers things for pretty much every taste, not only in what the step patterns do, but also in music selection. Pump It Up is also pretty notorious of having less intrusive visual gimmicks like wavering, stuttering, but sadly in Phoenix they rehauled the whole layout of step charts and removed a lot of visual gimmicks in lower difficulties. There were a lot of changes in Phoenix. Particularly the scoring system is now more accuracy oriented than combo oriented, but still step charts and pump are more about endurance than getting 100%. And on a higher end, not many people can get all the arrows of the highest difficulty. Some difficulties were even just life bar passed by only few people. Let's talk about grading system for a bit. So ZELLLOO just got all perfects, and you see it's triple S plus. The grading in Phoenix depends strictly on your score on the percentage. If you get 90 and up, it will be double A. Then 95 and up, triple A. 97 S, 98 double S, and 99 triple S. There are also plates in this game. If you get certain amount of misses or no misses, you will get different plates, depending on what you got. It's a bit different from what the system was before, so we're still getting used to it to an extent. And on top of the screen you may notice a rainbow colored stripe, it's a life bar. In Pump It Up there is possibility to set the game in the way when you can deplete your life bar and the song will not be over. This is the way ZELLLOO is playing, because things may happen and we don't want to see those songs ending abruptly midway. But in Phoenix you have to select premium mode to not have life bar. Game over. And if you play in regular mode, or if you don't have an account to log in, the stage break will be on, and once your life bar is depleted, your song is over and your credit is over as well. But for cases when you deplete life bar and then you come back, there is an indication in Phoenix. Your letter grade will look gray and somewhat broken, like broken stone, and there will be no misplate. This song was actually crossed over from a different written game. It's a very, very good rock song. Yeah, if you get only perfects and grades, the plate will say Ultimate Game.
Next stage. Level 19.
Pump It Up is a bit weird in how it sorts the songs. You may go by difficulty, you may go by times the song appeared in game, but for that you have to have like some historical knowledge, or you may go by genre. There are original songs composed or specifically licensed for Pump. There are K-pop songs because it's a Korean game and K-pop is really popular all around the world. And there is also world music, when song is licensed not non-exclusively for the game. This is world music, which means it's a license, it may have appeared somewhere else. The song was introduced to the game when Pump was trying to get into Japanese market, but sadly didn't go too well. Also, you may have noticed that there were several holds, but ZELLLOO just stayed there in place and did not press them. That's because in Pump It Up, holds work very differently from a lot of other games. You don't have to step at the head of the hold to get perfect. You may just stay on the panel if you were already there. Sometimes the step artists try to change that, and they may use force attacks on the holds, but usually that's not the case. And in Phoenix they made it so in most cases it's visible if there is something before the hold and you have to step on it. Yeah, this song is already difficulty 19, and you may notice there are not only fast twists but also small bursts of way faster notes, and there are also brackets when you have to use one foot to press two panels at the same time. Gladly with a new pad layout, well, not layout, but new construction, the metal brackets were removed and it's much easier to press the bracket steps. But with older pads, when you had metal brackets in between panels, it was a bit harder. Nowadays you don't need too big of a foot size to press those. Unless you want to try to press red and blue on the side with one foot. That's not an easy task.
Level 20.
So for premium mode in Phoenix, you typically get 5 arcade length songs. Pump It Up offers songs of different varieties, different lengths. There are arcade songs, there are shortcuts when the song is somewhat chopped to have usually the hardest part on it. There are also remixes. It's either actual remix or it's a mashup of 2 or more songs. And there are also full version of the songs when it's not a severely cut or even just uncut version. I think ZELLLOO is gonna just play all arcade songs in this showcase. And what he's playing right now is a very old Pump It Up classic song, composed by their in-house group called Banya. Banya did a lot of really interesting music that's iconic for Pump It Up. Sadly by now they already disbanded, but their legacy still lives with us. And this chart was made a lot of games ago, probably about 15 to 18 years somewhat. It's really old, it has really weird patterns, so if you just start playing Pump, you usually get used to patterns that flow better than this. But since ZELLLOO's been playing for many years by now, he can handle anything pretty much. Some pretzel twist in this one.
Absolutely perfect!
And we got just one grade again. So at the end of credit in Phoenix you get a result screen that shows all the songs you played during your credit, and now we start the second one. Going and back up in difficulty again. Gonna hit single 21, and the song ZELLLOO's gonna play is a very fresh song that was introduced just this year. I believe it was the latest patch for Phoenix.
New tunes. Difficulty level 12.
Since Phoenix is a live game, it's online and it's getting updates pretty regularly. We get several new songs each update. This is a very chill, fresh song. And from the sound of it, you may not expect something hard, but difficulty 21 is tricky. It also has very cute background. Pump It Up is notorious for having backgrounds for almost every song in the game. Initially, it may have been causing problems because backgrounds may be bright, but nowadays they introduced the background filter, so if you don't like bright colors, if you want to concentrate on the arrows, you can use BGA Dark, just like ZELLLOO does. Lots of tricky movement in here, lots of triple jumps. And starting to hit bigger runs. Because it's a level 21, must make it hard. Yeah, the higher you get in Pump It Up, the more you will encounter long, unbroken runs in 16 knots. So you have to go fast. Typically when players grow and improve, they start moving their feet slightly less. The movement is more condensed to save on energy and to move faster. Very cute song.
Absolutely perfect! Next stage.
It's really funny how the game says absolutely perfect even if you get a couple grades or even a miss or two. We always laugh about that. Another fresh song ZELLLOO is playing in level 22. It's called C, and the background refers some internet meme about backrooms, I believe. Yeah, people were pretty impressed when they saw this background, like, wow, it's a meme background. It's also a very tricky chart, even though it says, what, 90 BPM, I believe? But slow song does not mean it has to be easy. There's lots of jumps in here, lots of brackets, even some pretty tricky turns. It may be an easy level 22 as many skilled players would say, but there's still a lot of things to do in here. You may also notice that ZELLLOO is holding onto the red rail behind him. Nowadays it's common practice, it's not being frowned upon anymore, and in tournaments the bar is also allowed and pretty much encouraged because over the years difficulty in Pump It Up raised up really high, and it's really hard to do good in higher difficulty without holding onto the bar. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna require much more effort and much more training. Oh, this is actually ZELLLOO's PB. Nice job.
New record!
Yeah, you may notice there's a small number underneath the score on top of the screen, and that small number means you increased from your previous personal best. Very good indication. Zero is going to play a very meme song now.
I do need to cut in real quick and say, give a quick content warning. This chart does have some very mean effects that might be a little strong for people's eyes. So if you start feeling bad, do not be afraid to look away.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of flashing, so if you have photosensitivity, please don't look at the screen for about a couple minutes. You will hear when the song is over. Yeah, if you play any other written games, you probably have heard this song and seen the actual background. In Pump, it's censored in places because Pump is an arcade game and some things should not be shown to general public in arcades. Yeah, if you want to see it, just go on YouTube. It's really creepy in places. The team changed the music direction pretty radically at the end of previous game, and in Phoenix there is lots more meme songs now in Pump than it used to be. I think they just wanted to jump on the trend using all those meme songs that people recognize. For many people, it's a huge factor that you can actually play the song you already know in many different games. Gives you confidence. And since this is a pretty high difficulty, we will see lots of visual effects in this song. What you see on the screen, don't think something is wrong. This is exactly what ZELLLOO is seeing all the stuttering. This effect is pretty common in higher difficulties in Pump to make the reading harder. And now it's also going to do this wavy blinky thing. It's really hard to read this. The steps themselves are not as bad if you're at skill level to play 23s, but the visual gimmick makes this one really hard. And also you have to do some bracketing while also holding the hold. Gladly Pump It Up has pretty wide timing windows, so it's a bit easier, but still not as easy.
Unbelievable! You are the best!
That's a very good score and also improvement again. Yeah, level 23s are not easy. 99 on a 23 is really good. And with such few non-perfects.
That play of it kind of stings for me, because yes, it was a personal best, but I had the miss right at the end. Whoopsie.
Oopsies. That's still good.
Level 23. Level 23.
And with how Phoenix works, it's not gonna overwrite your plate even if you get higher score, so it will still show the no miss plate. Gonna cheat the system. This is level 24. Not only the song is fast, but it also has lots of tricky movement, and we'll see more bracket holds in the end of this one. This song is made by one of in-house composers, Doin. He's notorious for making fast electronic music like this, and a lot of people really like it and find it one of the signature music types for Pump. There's just so much going on in this step chart. There are brackets, there are twists, there are gonna be drills. Here is a bracket holds coming. You have to hold the drill at the same time. And it gets even harder when you have to hold the blue holds because you have to turn your feet in very awkward position for this. That is unless you're really good with your micro movement and can use your toes to press center instead of using your heel, which is usually not recommended. Very solid ending, not a drip in life bar. Yeah, sometimes the patterns are just way too fast and players have to manipulate them just like ZELLLOO did at the very end. And we got another up score. Really nice. I hope ZELLLOO's happy with at least this one. Because 4 misses on level 24 is very solid.
Next stage.
But you know how high level players are, they are also very strict on themselves.
Difficulty zone level 16.
And now we're switching to more interesting part of the showcase, doubles, where ZELLLOO will play on both sides of the platform. I really love pump it up doubles. They allow you for such a variety of movement and it's really fun to learn and play. Even though this is only level 16 for doubles, which go up to 28 in pump it up, this one is considered really hard by many players because the movement is not what you typically would see in doubles of this level nowadays. And players might have difficulty learning this kind of movement. There are some turns that we call diagonals when you go from red to center to right, so it's like you crossing far on the pad. And not only it's hard to execute, but it's also hard to read in process. And also lots of movement from one side of the pad to the other side real quick. Even though the notes are not that fast, the movement itself is really wide. A song, by the way, is also crossed from a different music game. If you ever tried Neon FM, this is from Neon FM. Great job!
Absolutely perfect!
Absolutely perfect, that is actually absolutely perfect. And now we're halfway through the showcase.
Ready, pump it up! New tunes! User difficulty zone level 8, level 17.
So the next one is also a very old original song. It has also very funny lyrics, we like to sing it when we play. I know a lot of people don't like this chart either because it's very tricky to execute. You will see. But both ZELLLOO and me, we adore this chart. So what is happening here? These gallop jumps, you have to actually switch your position, which is not very intuitive. And then we will get some holds, where you have to hold the hold and also do some gallops. We call it gallop because it sounds somewhat similar to the gallops of the horse. Here you see the hold and you have to gallop at the same time. You may try to do it with one foot, but it will require way too much speed. It's better to just break at one of the steps. And it may be not very intuitive how to break it. On doubles there are way more possibilities for breakings. And sometimes it's hard to process which foot goes where. Foot switch jumps. This is such a fun movement for this chart. I'm just silently raving to the song. I love this song so much. And ZELLLOO got another perfect score. Great job! Yeah, those gallops are not easy to time because you have to offset your steps by a very particular amount, even with huge time and meters and pump it up. Now we're back to world music. Very cute song. Very cute background about two girls wanting to become idols. And this is more typical of what you would see and expect in Pump in current chart and meta. Some minor twists. Pump it up, unlike DDR and possibly ITG and Stepmaniacs. Pump it up uses lots of just complementing runs, not strictly following music, because since Pump is more oriented on harder difficulty and stamina, it's considered normal to add steps sometimes where there is nothing in music. And if you are confused, we call runs a long sequence of 16 notes. Like here, you may see lots of notes with some quite fast movement around. Chart pacing and Pump is also pretty different because it's usually go easier at the beginning, then get some harder part, then get some rest, then get the death run at the end. In other music games, the charts tend to be more even across the whole song.
Next stage. Level 19.
And here we are to our first K-pop song.
Yeah, I can't wait for Yeonjia Kim to look at our viewers for the next 2 minutes.
It's such a great song. I really love this kind of K-pop. Sadly, it's not very popular, but it's really fun. And the step maker also had a lot of fun making patterns for this one. Because they're not trivial at all. Like, this is middle difficulty for this song, and it's already pretty tricky with all the triple jumps that will be coming soon. But in harder difficulties, those jumps are much wider and much faster. Here we go, lots of triple jumps. That may be hard to process, because you need to parse which foot has to press two panels at the same time. Back in the day, we didn't know we could do that, and we just used our hands to press the third panel. I must admit, not very productive way to play this game, unless you're trying to do some freestyle dancing, like actual dancing. But some charts do require you to use hands, especially in harder levels. I love this song so much. Wonderful. All perfect. Wonderful.
Next stage. Level 19, level 20.
We're getting another cross song. This one comes from Auto Jam. And this one is notorious for having some pretty complicated twists in the middle of the platform, in the middle 6 panels, how we call it. A lot of players just get confused on how to do it, because you have to go behind yourself or in front of yourself in pretty wide twists, so a lot of players just manipulate this pattern, but ZELLLOO's gonna show us the proper way to play this step chart. This song is actually part of series. There is this time attack blue, there is start on red, and then there is dual racing red against blue. And all the songs are really cool and use cars in their backgrounds. There are lots of cars backgrounds in Pump It Up, let's be honest. Cars and cats are probably two of the most popular topics for backgrounds. Here are some tappings. That's also pretty tricky when you have to press the same panel with one foot pretty fast. Some people like to use 2 feet and foot switch on those, but it's not always possible. I myself prefer to just tap those patterns, even if they're supposed to be foot switched. Here is the pattern. Here are all those twists. One big minus of the bracketless pads is it's pretty easy to trigger the panel if you move far and don't lift your foot quite enough. So it's common to get pad bad, especially if your pad is really sensitive. Pad bad and pad good.
Absolutely perfect!
Great play, very few non-perfects here. And wonderful showcase of how to actually turn this.
Level 20, level 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21.
I think in this showcase, Zillooo just wants to impress us with all the twisty stuff in this game. This is another pretty old original. Yeah, this one is not 20 years yet, but getting close to there. And this step chart also requires lots of fast twists. I believe it's a classical remix. Pop is known for having classical remixes. There are lots of them, and most of them are really, really good. Got a bit of a slip up on those tricky turns. But still going strong. Yeah, you may notice that the steps here are concentrated in the middle of the platform a lot. And for many players, reading the middle 4 and middle 6 patterns is very tricky, and lots of players have problems when transitioning from singles to doubles. I believe it was only one miss away from all perfect play. Sadly, the miss was right in the middle, so it broke the combo and affected the score a bit more than if the miss was at the beginning or at the very end. Even though in Phoenix Pump It Up transitioned to more accuracy-oriented scoring, the combo is still being factored, so if you want higher score, you want to try to press all the arrows.
Difficulty zone level 17. Level 23.
You want to talk about Dreamcatcher real quick since they're pretty popular?
You skipping Slam?
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, let me do Slam first.
We can't skip Video Kill the Radio Star. I disagree with this. This is one of the two oldest K-pop songs still in Pump, and it's a real banger. Yeah, Pump It Up made NoSWA actually popular in Korea, so they get to keep some of their songs. And this step chart is very old, but it also holds pretty well even in nowadays standard. I know lots of people hate it because how fast and far you have to move, but I actually adore this step chart because for its age, it's just such a progressive thought. It has one very evil part at the very end though. There's lots going on in here, some fast twists, some brackets, some tappings here and there. Also those patterns you have to somewhat slide jumps real fast. Not common occurrence in modern Pump It Up. And here's the part that makes this chart actually hard. Those are tappings, you have to actually press them. And that last hold gives 500 combos. They changed it in Phoenix to give players more leniency on the step count.
Next stage.
Now we're moving to Dreamcatcher song.
Level
Dreamcatcher is a Korean K-pop group, and I think, from what I heard, it's actually more popular overseas than in Korea itself. They're making mostly rock music, and what was it, Prime 2? Yeah, it was Prime 2 when they just debuted, and 2 of the songs were released in Pump It Up, and they became an instant hit. So Pump has what, 5 songs now? Yeah, I believe it's
Focus
5
is
songs.
6.
They are really popular with Pump It Up players, and usually Dreamcatcher means that the step chart's gonna be lots of fast runs because their songs are all around 200 BPM, most of them around 200 BPM. But this one is different. This one is different. It's very tricky. It's not what you would expect from a Dreamcatcher song, and lots of players were confused and not happy about this. But personally, I think variety is good. So far it looks pretty normal, but wait, it's coming. Here you go, very fast jumps. And not just jumps, bracket jumps. You have not only to move for those, but also read them. And it gets harder when you move from just center patterns to going from center to the side and back. It's considered a pretty hard level 23 because of how tricky those jumps are to execute. Yeah, it's 6 songs. I keep forgetting Fly High exists. It's just so different from other Dreamcatcher songs. Nice execution on this one. And it's another up score. Great job. Great play.
Wow! New record!
Beat 99 on this one.
Next stage.
Only 5 greats and 3 misses. And no goods and bads. That's pretty impressive, I must say. That's pretty impressive.
Level 23. Level 24.
We're in the last stretch of the showcase. Only a few songs left, and we're hitting the real expert and boss level zone. A reminder that difficulty in Pump goes only up to 28 for doubles, and this is already 24. Expect way more madness in this chart from now on.
Also, shoutouts to Math.
Oh yeah, so this song is composed by DM Asher, and his everyday occupation is being a math teacher. I believe it's in university, like college and university stuff. Really advanced math, and a lot of his songs have names connected to math. Like, you can Google what annihilator method is. The background, though, is not connected to math. It's about really bad strategy. Very sad. So the higher you get in difficulty for doubles, the more often you will encounter brackets. So it's good to familiarize yourself with how to press them and be effective in it, how to read them. In this one, not only you get brackets in jumps, you will also get lots of brackets in runs. And bracket drills in the middle. Right here. Yeah, those notes displaced and may look like a run, but they are supposed to be pressed 2 notes at the same time, because the timing window, as I said many times today, is pretty huge in Pump It Up. Those misplaced notes can still be pressed in perfects, but it's a bit tricky. You have to time them precisely. Here we get more bracket trickery. Not only brackets, but also twisting. And the big run, as in most Pump It Up charts. This run is also pretty hard, like, right now it's still more condensed in movement but by the end of the song, right here, it hits real hard. The movement is just so fast that it's much more efficient to manipulate some of the patterns and press 2 panels with 1 foot instead of trying to actually run it.
Wow, you're awesome!
Another very solid run.
Next stage.
Yeah, it's very great play on this difficulty level.
Level 24. Level 25.
Let's send ZELLLOO some energy because he will need it. This song is a song. It's also one of the recent additions to the game, and this one is notorious for not having any breaks at all. It will be 16 notes stream from the beginning to the end. And with some far movement and tricky twists. So let's send ZELLLOO some energy.
Gonna give myself a second to catch my breath. So make sure you take care of yourself playing these kinds of games. Make sure you get enough water. Make sure you rest enough. Especially in a showcase setting like this, I need to make sure I take enough time to rest between songs in the higher difficulty so I don't burn out. So give me just a few seconds here and we'll get started with this one.
We're not in a hurry. We only have 2 songs left and full 9 minutes. Take your time. And always hydrate when you play physically active games like this. It's important. I am also hydrating on my end. Yeah, this is another classical remix. And as you would expect from a piano piece, there's lots of piano type runs, let's say, so like M-run movement, also round movement on one side. Pretty much what you would expect from this. Now I'm actually curious if there's gonna be a halt at the end, because there was no halt at the beginning. This song is somewhat supposed to replace Conflict that was removed due to licensing issues in Phoenix. And Double 24 for Conflict only had single steps, not even double jump, not any brackets, nothing, just single steps. So I'm curious if this one also only has single steps. Pretty big stair around the pad. Okay, yeah, this has holds and some triple and quadruple holds at the end. Great play, this is a really great play. It's very tiring.
Your skills are really amazing.
Especially at the end of an hour-long showcase. Gladly those holds give a lot of combos, so pretty perfect, we take it. Only 8 misses on level 25. I pay you attention, level 25.
Next stage.
And now we are waiting for the last song of the showcase, which is gonna be level 26. You get all the tech you can expect in level 26, like everything is in there, and maybe even more than you expect. And also very fast song, it's like 215 BPM I believe.
Level 25. Level 26.
Great song though,
Super.
really great song. Good luck! Good luck with this run. Yeah, since it's raining out there, it's maybe a bit sticky on the platform, so ZELLLOO is using some help in shape of baby powder. Let's go. Let's go, last song. Pretty cute visual effect at the beginning. What we all love about Pump It Up. At least this one is not just all 16s, you get a lot of intro. Some brackets here and there, but mostly 8 notes for now. It will pick up a lot in the second half of this song. So if you want to score on this one, you want to get as many notes in the beginning as you can. Nice, still keeping combo, great job. And I did not curse. Good. Keep it up. Big bracket hold, some bracket jumps. Lot of brackets. Go, you got it. And from here on, push, just push. This is a very hard run, lots of movement, some brackets have to pick up life here and push the very end. I think it's a pass. I think it's a pass. We'll see in just a moment. Hold the last hold, don't let it go. We know many cases when people let it go. Oops. I thought it was a pass. It was really close to a pass. Sad, but a very great play. very solid play on this one. It was just a hair away from the pass. And only 16 misses and almost 1,000 combo on level 26. Just imagine how hard is this.
Yeah, the hard part with stuff in that difficulty is the moment you get behind, you just lost half your life bar because there's so many notes. And even with the catch-up I was managing to do, I just couldn't hold out. But
and this was
that.
time. This was time.
So I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Haru, for being my wonderful wife and always, for some reason, agreeing to commentate with me on these. I don't know why you continue to do this, but I'm glad you do.
Maybe I have no choice. Who else would do that?
Big thanks to the No Glitches Allowed staff for picking this for the marathon. I'm glad I could do something a little fun. I always love showing this game off. And out of like all the games I do, like speedrun or showcase, this is definitely the one I do the most because I know everybody who watches it enjoys it because, hey, it's great music, it's fun, high-level gameplay, and we're just here to have a good time. So with that, Haru, you have anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, my bed is waiting for me.
Your bed is waiting for you. My dinner is waiting for me. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching the whole marathon. I hope to be back with other games to showcase in the future. But I guess we'll kick it over to staff to wrap up the marathon, and I'll see y'all next time with it, whenever that'll be. Thanks, everyone.
I hope y'all had fun.